Hi, I'm Lou Rosenfeld from Lou's Skiing Performance Center in Calgary. And today we want to talk a bit about boot fitting and how to buy the right boot for your shaped foot. We have a volunteer, friendly volunteer from the audience, and this gentleman is a beginner skier. I have two boots here, and I think if you look at them, you can see right away that this boot is substantially wider everywhere than this boot. If we labeled these boots, we would call the wide boot a beginner's boot and the narrower boot an expert's boot. The problem with that system, of course, is that your feet don't change as your skiing improves. So if you have a narrow foot, it means you get to start life in a very poor fitting wide boot if you buy the beginner's boot. No control, takes longer to learn to ski, and gradually you move to a better and better boot. I'd like to avoid that system. So here's what we're going to do. Let's measure his foot and see how wide his foot actually is. Go ahead and stand up, would you? Okay. So his foot is a size 28. And remember, ski boots come in centimeter sizes, not in US sizes. US sizes are on the box, but if you buy the US size, you will get too large a boot. Either way, shell fitting and getting your foot in the boot is part of actually buying the correct size. So he's a 28 and a B width. Almost an A width, actually. C is average, so this beginner's foot is narrower than average. Let's put him in the typical beginner's boot and see how that fits. So we'll just get it open here quickly. And this is called a shell fit. I'm not going to put him in the boot with a liner. We're going to put him in the boot with a bare foot in just a shell. And it's the only way we can really tell how well the boot fits. And this should be part of buying every boot. And if the shop you're in isn't doing this, you should shop elsewhere. If we look in here, right away, we can see a bit of space around his ankle. And let's make sure your foot is all the way at the back of the boot for me, okay? So you can see the space around his ankle. And I'm going to have him just pivot on his heel and move his foot side to side. And I think you'll be able, great. I think you'll be able to hear the tapping and hear how much rattling there is. That's his foot moving side to side in the boot, probably by more than a centimeter. So this boot is quite wide on his foot and would be very loose on the hill. Now, let's get your foot out of here. And instead of treating him as a beginner, let's treat him instead as someone with a narrow foot, which is really the best way to get a good fit and the best way to get good performance on the hill. So let's put your foot in here now. Okay. And now put your foot all the way in the back again. And I think, so right away we can see much less room around his ankle. And if I have him move his foot side to side, there's almost nothing to hear. There's almost no space for his foot to move side to side. And that's really what we want for a good performance fit, and even a comfortable fit. If he puts on this boot that's way too wide, in order to make it feel tight on his foot, he'll end up buckling the buckles very tightly, and that ends up hurting. Where in this boot, because the shell itself is so close to his foot, he'll be able to buckle very lightly and be in a much more comfortable boot. The last thing to check is really that we've gotten the length right. So slide your foot forward till your toes lightly touch, and let's look behind your heel. Well, there's more than an inch of room back there, which I'm going to say is typically too much. So probably for this boot, we'll size down a size and make certain we get you even snugger in the boot. And again, more comfortable, better ski control, and a better day for you overall. All right? Have a great time. Thanks a lot. See you again.